call roll or just read everyone's names. Moving on to reading of the previous meeting's minutes. Are there any motions to waive the reading of the minutes?
I motion to waive the reading of the minutes.
Second.
Okay, it has been motioned and properly seconded. All those approve, say aye.
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 All those
Aye.
opposed?
Nay.
Okay, abstain. It is in the opinion of the chair that the ayes have it. We will now be moving on to officer reports. President Alderman.
Yep. 1 second, let me pull it up. All right, good evening, everyone. Thank you all for coming. Tonight, now I know usually Senate starts off and it's like really happy and I have a lot of energy for this, but I'm going to be starting on a more somber note than we usually do this evening, because tonight the entire Stetson community is mourning the loss of a member of our own community, a young man named Ira Scott. Personally, I met Ira in my freshman year, and in those first few weeks, I recall that he was one of the most welcoming and friendliest people I had met. And although we didn't stay in touch after about a couple months of freshman year, I always regarded him as one of the friendliest faces in our community, and truly a friend to all. Tonight, I'd like to offer my condolences to his family and to the brothers of Sigma Nu. I cannot imagine the feeling of losing someone so close. Please know that our thoughts and our prayers are with you all at this time, and may his memory be eternal. I'd like to thank all of the members of the Senate and the Executive Board for asking some really fantastic questions of Dr. Hancock and Dr. Schoenberg during last week's Senate. That was a fine example of representing the needs and concerns of your constituents and of holding the university to account directly when issues arise. Now, for some follow-up from last week, the information dashboard that Dr. Schoenberg mentioned has actually gone live, and it displays not only live stats, including the number of active cases on campus, the number of students currently in isolation, but it also shows the cumulative number of cases in the community, the amount of students who have been in isolation over time, positivity rates, and several other pieces of information. I implore senators to share this resource with others and to keep track of it yourselves. Let me drop the link for that in the chat real quick. It's really, really well designed, and I'm glad that they're putting so much effort into getting that information out. And it's updated live, which is great. Also, please remember that every 2 weeks there will be rapid antigen testing in the Hollis Center. So that means that the next date will be next Tuesday, September 8th. These are, again, as you know, tests that take 15 minutes to get you your results back. So definitely make sure you go and get that, and make sure you share that information with more people, because they want there to be more people getting tests, because if there's more people getting tests, then we'll be able to get more, and so on and so forth. Right now, things are looking much better than they did 2 weeks ago, but that does not mean that we're anywhere in the clear yet. As you know, we're all still in Tier 1. Even though we aren't as far behind as we were around the 18th, we're doing better, which is good, which we have to remember. Keep up the great work. Be sure to boost important information to your constituents, and of course, be good examples of safety and responsibilities. And I wrote that word wrong. Just be a good example. You know what to do at this point. Moving on. So last week I mentioned that there had been a problem with the Cub solar panels. Something went wrong with them a couple weeks ago, and they stopped generating electricity. I'm glad to report now that they are back functioning at their regular capacity, generating about, I think it's 66 kilowatts during peak production times, which is great. I mean, it doesn't power like the entire Cub or anything, but that's no small amount. Big shout out to facilities for their swift action on this issue, and for keeping me informed of the repairs as they happened. I had an email from the guy repairing them almost every 2 days, hitting me with a ton of information that frankly I didn't really understand, because I don't understand electrical engineering. Remember that these solar panels they're on top of the Cub because of SGA and because of the Rolling Green Fund. They represent our commitment to making Stetson a more environmentally friendly and sustainable campus. Moving on. A lot tonight. The undergraduate research committee reached out to me earlier today asking for members of SGA to fill out a survey for them regarding Showcase for 2021. As you might know, Showcase is an event towards the end of the academic year where a lot of seniors will present their senior research projects, and it's a big, important thing. And so they're trying to get students, particularly at this moment, student leadership input on how that might be looking for April. So they sent me this link to the survey. So if you guys could just take a minute after Senate tonight to fill that out, that would be much appreciated. And finally, so here's the roadmap for the next couple of weeks. So today's the 2nd. Yes, today's the 2nd. So next week, September 9th, there will be a regular Senate meeting at 7:30 as usual. And then immediately after that Senate meeting, the election results will be announced. So like literally as soon as we adjourn, we'll announce them. The next week, there will not be a Senate, but it will serve as new senator orientation. I'm actually going to kind of scratch the new from there and just say senator orientation, because even if you've been here for a while, sometimes we can always use a refresher on just how some of the things work around here. More information will be coming out about that soon. And then finally, on the 23rd, so the next Wednesday after that, will be the swearing in of the Senate, followed by the swearing in of the president and vice president. So, yeah. Any questions? I know I threw a lot of stuff at you guys there really quickly. All right, seeing none, end report.
Okay, Director of Finance.
Good evening, everyone. It's good to see you all again. Just an update for my progress this week. I had another meeting with Zach and Renee to discuss our progress with the student funds and how we'll be going about with organizations. They loved your feedback, and we'll be proceeding with that. On Monday, I have another meeting scheduled with Zach. I'll be drafting a letter that explains everything that will be happening, with orgs having the ability to give any amount back and having up to 100% of their travel fund be able to be transferred to student programming, and up to 35% of their food budget be able to transfer to student programming. So you should all, if you're involved with a student org, you'll receive those emails potentially in 2 weeks or so. But the progress is looking really great. We have everything figured out, and it's full steam ahead. And that's about all I have to report right now for Director of Finance. Thank you.
Thank you. Director of Marketing and Student Outreach.
Hi. For my report, personally, I don't have a lot to say, just social media stuff. But Lishna's not here, so she asked me to read her report, and I'm just going to say it now because it does overlap with anything I would have to say. So let me pull that up real quick. Okay. So everybody, I hope you know elections are happening soon. There's going to be a town hall. We're collaborating with the organization Stetson Votes. And so next Tuesday, September 8th, right before the elections the next day, we will have a town hall, which is like a debate. And, well, they're not the same thing in real life, but for our purposes, they're kind of similar. And it'll be from 8 to 10:30. What she needs from the presidential tickets tonight is headshots, if you haven't sent them to her. You need to answer the doodle poll for the webinar run-through on Friday. The times are 10:30 to 12 or 3:30 to 4:30. Okay, she'll send an email out to you guys.
Okay.
Oh, one more time for the times?
Yeah. Can you repeat that information one more time, please?
Just about the doodle poll?
Whatever you just said.
Okay, I'm
Thank
so sorry.
you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so answer the doodle poll, which is for the webinar run-through. And so the webinar is either going to be 10:30 to 12 or 3:30 to 4:30.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. No problem. And then the campaign video, it's mandatory for tickets. She didn't give me a due date, but you guys got to submit a campaign video, I'm assuming. And then for all of Senate, don't forget that on the 9th is elections. The voting closes at 7 p.m. So remind your constituents to vote when it comes the day of. Spread the word. Text people. Like, honestly, don't just post on social media. Let people know. Especially if there's any focus leaders in the group, you need to reach out to everybody. But that's all I have to say and report.
Hi, Zoe.
Yes,
Hi,
hello.
everyone. May I chime in a little bit? I've been helping Lishna with getting this all arranged, and so I can probably fill in some of the information there. So,
Okay, please do. I yield my time.
okay, thank you. We met with Julie Hunter today, and Lishna was trying to secure the Webinar to Go platform, which is the same platform that President Rolke has been using for his meetings. And she is requiring that all of the candidates attend a 30-minute training for that webinar, for that town hall / debate that will be held on Tuesday. Because the original town hall was actually scheduled for tomorrow, and that was just too quick of a turnaround, Lishna decided to combine the two and have it on Tuesday for all of the president and vice president candidates. So that's what's happening there. There is also a couple of videos that are being created. I've created one on why students should vote, and I have sent it to her. I'm more than happy to show it to you guys if you have time at the end of your meeting. If you approve Hannah and George, it's up to you. I think you'll really like it. But there's 51 candidates, but only 26 videos. So, and there's a couple of videos that really need to be redone because the sound was way too low. So for the president and vice presidential candidates, we really must have a video from you all. We may not get one from everyone, but those two, that ticket, we definitely need the video so that we can have all of you represented in the introduction to the community. For the rest, if you don't submit a video, because I am working on it and it takes a lot of time, if you don't submit a video, your name will just be listed at the end. You don't necessarily have to do a facial video. You can submit a quote or something that's in text, and I can include that as well. So it's up to you or up to the candidates on how you want to be represented, or if you don't want to be represented, excluding the vice president and presidential tickets. And I need that as soon as possible because the deadline has actually passed and I need to pull it. I need to get them all built, and it really does take a lot of time. And I'll show it to you whenever you guys yield me some time to show it to you. Thank you.
I have a question, Bonisha.
Sure.
First of all, it's great to hear your voice. Second of all, my question is that should we email you and Lishna separately to see like if you have your videos and stuff like that? Because I've been getting like emails, but at the same time it's involving everybody. So I don't, because you guys probably don't want to like call anyone individually out. So I just want to make sure that you have our materials. You know what I mean? So should we just do that individually?
I would prefer that you work through Lishna because since she is the lead for this, I'm just supporting her.
Okay.
And she is dropping all of the videos and material into a OneDrive folder for me to access.
Gotcha.
So that's how we're working. Now, if you want to verify if I have your video or if it's sufficient, then feel free to reach out to me. You can always reach out to me. But for the official business, if you can go through Lishna, that would be great.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
That's all.
Okay, Zoe, did you finish your report? Was that everything? Okay, we're going to go on to the Director of Internal Operations.
Yes, hello everyone. So sadly, I wasn't able to get any of my constitutional or bylaw amendments onto the floor tonight, and I'm really sad that I didn't get to do that, but that doesn't mean I'm done with it. You all should check your email, check under the SGA group, and if so, you will find an email with an attachment, and that is a document listing, to my knowledge, all of the key things that could do with revision in the Constitution and bylaws, from things as simple as like changing he, him, she, her verbs to they verbs for gender neutrality, to outright total revisions of codes on like senator removals. There's a lot of stuff in our defining documents that could be better. Some of it is just odd, some of it's outdated, and some of it's a little problematic. So I want to make sure that no matter what happens, even after the Senate adjourns, that people are still pursuing this. So definitely take a look at that when you get the chance. Let's see what else. I've been really thinking about it, and I know you guys are, starting to transition out of your roles. Those who are going for elections again are obviously going to try to resume their roles. And one thing I really want to stress to you guys is finding out very concrete means to sort of inject yourself in these student spaces and find out what they need, find out what kind of support you can get from them. And I've really been cooking on like what that looks like. And I think I came to a conclusion that I wish I'd come to a year ago. And that is that if you ever get the chance, if you're ever with somebody and they say they're going to a meeting for an organization that you're not in, consider just going to that meeting with them. Freshman year, I tried to go to meetings for stuff that I had absolutely no interest in just because I wanted to know what was going on. And this was before any SGA or whatever. And I think it provides a very cool insight into what the other organization's needs are, because if you're just operating from your own sphere and your sphere is SGA and maybe a couple other things, like, you're not going to get a perspective on what actually needs to happen on campus and what other students' needs are, because you're putting yourself in an echo chamber. So for a lot of you that are running again, and I have a rough idea of who you are, consider just sitting in on other orgs, please. Like, they will show you things you didn't even think about. They will voice opinions you never thought were being voiced up until now. And so, keep on figuring out how to be an advocate for the community. And then finally, like I said, take a look at those amendments, because I think they're very important. Again, I will stand by the fact that I think there's a lot of parts of the Constitution, the bylaws, that might just need to be like changed entirely. I think there are things that can be added, and I will definitely be talking about that in the coming days. But for the time being, just take a look at it, because there's some very basic stuff that could be better. And I think right now I'm in this headspace where I'm like, we can be better, and I'm trying to find out ways to sort of like, I don't know, point you guys in that direction. So sit in on meetings, look at those constitutional and bylaw amendments, and keep on doing what you're doing. End report.
Thank you. We will now be moving on to reports of special committees, but we already read the electoral committee report. We have no special orders, no unfinished business. So now we will be moving into a period of new business where we will be introducing Senate Resolution number 3, a bill to bring psychoeducational testing to Stetson University. If the authors would like to go ahead and explain it.
Yeah, can I share my screen?
Here, I'll just pull it up and I'll do it.
All right, cool. So yeah, this is the PET Act. We are finally able to pass it. So once George pulls it up on the screen, once he shares his screen, I'll read off the bill, and then we can talk a little bit about it. John Michael had some help in determining the budget here and how that component works. So John Michael will also talk a little bit about that too. So without further ado, the bill to bring psychoeducational testing to Stetson University. The Committee of Academic Affairs proposes the following bill, presented by Chair Finkelstein and Director Leontis. Whereas psychoeducational testing is defined by the study of mental processes and behavior and refers to psychological tests used to analyze the mental processes underlying educational performance. Whereas to make psychoeducational testing affordable for students who qualify but did not receive psychoeducational testing due to financial constraints as determined by Stetson University's Associate Director of Academic Success and Accessibility, or of an equal position within the Office of Academic Success, whereas the Stetson Student Government Association would supplement support these students via the PET Fund, of which $5,000 would be allowed from each fiscal year, whereas any students eligible to receive from the PET Fund may receive a maximum of $1,000 that would be received by the Office of Academic Success and Accessibility, may only be allocated to psychoeducational testing. The funds would then be used by the office to purchase a psychoeducational test as identified by the Associate Director of Academic Success and Accessibility, or of an equal position within the Office of Academic Success for that particular student, paying for fully or partially, or paying fully or fully or partially. Whereas the Director of Finance shall work in conjunction with the Chair of Academic Affairs Committee to ensure that the funds allocated exhibit a positive impact upon the Stetson students that may relay on the funds as well as the student body. Be it resolved, the Stetson University Student Government Association will put $5,000 towards psychoeducational testing that will be administered by Stetson University's Associate Director of Academic Success and Accessibility, or of an equal position within the Office of Academic Success. These funds will be made be available yearly for a maximum of 2 years, and upon the second year will require renewal from the Stetson Student Government. And the funding for the bill shall take effect beginning with the passage of the 2020-2021 fiscal year Stetson Student Government Association budget. So essentially what this bill does is, as confusing as it might be a little bit with just some of the verbiage used, what the bill does is allow for certain students who are not able to get psychoeducational testing, which is essentially testing to see if there's some sort of like learning disability or some other thing that might impede learning in a school environment. And what this bill does is allow funding for students who maybe cannot necessarily afford it, or have some other financial burden that doesn't really allow them access to the test. What happens is that they would go to the Office of Academic Success. The Office of Academic Success, particularly the Associate Director of Academic Success, which is Aaron Disler, he would take a look at the student and their particular situation, and then contact SGA, particularly Zach Beaver, and come up with basically a range within that $1,000 to kind of subsidize that test. So the student doesn't directly receive those funds. The school, that office received those funds, and then the office goes ahead and purchases the test for that student. What this would do is essentially allocate $5,000 a year, so $5,000 for 2020, 2021, and then $5,000 for 2020, 2021, 2022 to that particular office as kind of a pilot program. And by the second year, and so by the 2021, 2022 end, the fund would basically have to go up for renewal again. John Michael, you can talk a little bit more about like the particulars there if you want.
Yeah. Let me get my screen situated again.
I don't know what happened to John Michael. George, I know you wanted to speak a little bit about the bill too, so you can go ahead.
Yep. Hello.
Oh, back. All right. Are you back?
It looks like my Zoom crashed as soon as I wanted to contribute. So
All right.
about last fall, can't believe it's been so long. Josh and I had a great meeting with Mr. Disler about the PET Act and establishing the fund. Really, it's a great thing that the student government wants to do. With putting forward the $5,000 to contribute towards the fund, we're really looking at starting this program and to prove that it's needed on campus and that it is successful, so that eventually the administration can take over the fund and really allocate the appropriate funding so that the students that need the psychoeducational testing can receive those. So I think this is a great initiative on part of the student government, so that we can actually contribute and show that we care about all Stetson students, even the ones that people might not think about all the time. And I think this is a great way to do that. With the clause of the Director of Finance and Chair of Academic Affairs working together, that's just to make sure that the program is running smoothly and effectively. Um, Also, with the renewal every 2 years, it's our preliminary hopes right now that once this program is successful for 2 years, the administration will take a second look at it and potentially pick it up. If they don't, and the Senate at the time still feels that there's the need on campus for the program, they'll have the ability to renew that. And the funding will come from the funding allocated for the student government. That pool of money is about $50, so it'd be appropriated out of the budget this coming fiscal year once that's created here in the fall with the new Senate, and then the next year's budget as well.
I think, George, you wanted to speak a little bit about it too.
Yeah, so this project is very near and dear to me. In fact, the origins of this started last summer when I had a meeting with Aaron Disler of the Accessibility Services Office to talk about this project. And it hits very near and dear to me because I am, like many other students around here, I live with a psychoeducational setback, and I was lucky enough when I was younger to be able to have the resources to get diagnosed for that and have the resources that I need. But I know that there's students, across the country and particularly on our campus, who might go their entire lives thinking, hey, I think I might have something like attention deficit disorder. But they were never able or they didn't have access to the ability to get formally tested for that, which would open up doors to help get them onto equal footing. And so what this is essentially going to allow students to do is, if they suspect that they have one of these conditions, they can go in this, and the student government will be effectively covering either the cost or a portion of the cost, because it depends on how much the testing, the price of the testing. It will be covering that to allow them to see if they actually have it, receive a proper clinical diagnosis, and then receive the proper treatment that they need that can help put them onto an equal footing with all of their peers. Again, this is something that's very near and dear to my heart, and I'm glad that we are finally being able to get this on the floor and get a vote on it, because I think this would be a fantastic program for us. And I especially think the aspect of proving that it is useful to the university, then after 1 or 2 years telling them, hey, this is big enough to where you should be footing the bill for it. I think that's one of the most important things about this bill, because it shows us really being leaders on campus and leading the administration to the right decision. So yeah, that's all I have to say. I'm going to stop sharing screen. If you do want to read more on this, it is in your emails.
Very well said, George. I think George really gave an excellent conclusion to the bill. This is just us, again, helping our students, our constituents at the end of the day. And there's nothing, that's what this bill does at the end of the day. It just helps our student population and is overall beneficial to everyone. So I urge you guys to vote in the affirmative. So I think I'm done with my piece, so let's move on to questioning.
Okay, we will be now moving into an open round of questioning. Just put your little hand icon up, or raise your hand or put something in the chat. Senator Kolchinsky.
Hi. I was just wondering, how would the students who need this funding or need this testing, how do they hear about it usually? How would they hear about it? Should this be?
So what happens is that they usually go to the Office of Academic Success, and then they take a very brief assessment. And as Dr. Disler was actually explaining to me, the way it works is that there's an overall assessment, but then if that's not enough, there's then needs to be more specialized assessment if they think that maybe that you're qualified for a particular test. And those tests can slowly start to range up in cost depending on how complex and how specific they are. It's not just like a one-size-fits-all type of like, solution to this. It's mostly like, you want to have the most specialized, educational setting for a particular student. And, what this bill does is helps take care of those costs that slowly creep up in cost the more complex that they get. So that's the importance of it. Ideally, the Office of Academic Success identifies these students. And then after that, basically just sends an email to Zach. It's all anonymous. It says, hey, we have a particular student here. This is what we think that the cost is going to be. Could you help fund it? And then after that, if they fall into their qualifications, absolutely. So thank you.
Thank you.
Any more questions?
Okay, if there are no more questions, we will now move into a period of open discussion on the bill. Director Leontis.
Hello. So, like I alluded to earlier, we've really been thinking about this bill for a while, and it's just good to see that it's finally been able to come to the floor. And I couldn't think of a better day to pass this bill than our very last Senate session altogether. So I definitely encourage everyone to vote in the affirmative, like Chair Finkelstein said. And we're really doing a good thing for our fellow students. So thank you.
Senator Hendrick.
Yeah, just as someone who my sibling only got diagnosed with their diagnosis because of a program like this at their university, and so I think this is really awesome that we're able to do this, and I fully support it.
Chair Finkelstein.
Yeah, just again, guys, this is a really amazing bill. As Senator Hendrick said, if we do pass this bill, this will be if we do pass this bill, we'll be the only, to my knowledge, the only school in the nation that actually has some form of SGA funding going towards this type of cause. So not only will we really be serving the Stetson population, but we'll also be setting a precedent and a first throughout the nation when doing this. So, again, I urge you guys to vote in the affirmative.
Senator Wright.
I just want to say, as somebody who has pretty bad ADHD, and I went through halfway through my freshman year of high school without being diagnosed, but I ended up really benefiting from my diagnosis. It literally turned my grades around. I was almost failing classes, and suddenly once I got my medicine and everything, I now am an AB student, and I have been since then. So this can really, really, really help people. And so I think it's really important that we all vote in favor of it.
Any more comments for open discussion? Okay, does anybody motion to move into voting? So now we're voting on if we move into voting.
I move to move into voting.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, it has been motioned and properly seconded. All those in favor of moving into voting, say aye.
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 Okay, all those opposed? Okay, abstain? It is the opinion of the chair that the ayes have it, so now we will be moving into a period of voting. So I think the best way to do it would probably to be put yes or no next to your name, if everybody's okay with that. It's if you can't find it, if you go into the little participants icon at the bottom of your screen, you click that, it'll give you some options like raise hand, yes, no. Yeah, you'll see it on there.
All right, everyone in favor, please just put up your yes right now. Okay, I count 17.
That's what I got too.
Okay, if there's anybody opposed, put up a no.
You can move on.
Oh, you got it. We're good.
Yeah.
Okay. So any abstain, I guess you wouldn't have done either motion. So it is in the opinion of the chair that the legislation passes. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys. We did a really amazing job today. We're going to be one of the first schools to ever have a program like this, and we're going to help a lot of Hatters. So thank you.
I will be signing this tonight if I can get to the library in time. So, and I'll be putting the signed version of it in the Outlook group as well. Thank you all. Again, very great project. Great work, everyone. Big thanks to Josh, Josh and John Michael for being the leads on this. Great work.
Nice job, everyone.
Okay, we will now be moving into committee reports, diversity and inclusion.
Hi, everyone. I am still working on some stuff so that I can present my hygiene bill. I've also had a meeting today with Joanne and a couple of other people regarding their series about anti-Blackness. If you guys haven't shared the post about that or any information about it, you definitely should. Spread the word. Also sign up on Engage or their Qualitrix thing that's in their bio so that you could be a part of it. There's a possibility to win prizes and there's cultural credit, and it's, you know, good for awareness and stuff. I've also been working with Tahira, the MSC chair, and her new board, her VP Marshall, and we've been working on some things. So yeah, hope everyone's doing well, and end report.
Okay. Campus life. Does anybody have his report if he's not here?
He doesn't have a report.
Okay, we'll just move on to academic affairs then.
I mean, we passed PET. We defended ease. I think it's been a successful semester. You know, guys, thank you again for passing PET. You know, looking forward to seeing you all next year. I hope many of you guys still are running right now too. So, you know, I think it's been an amazing year so far, regardless of COVID. End of report.
Thank you. Finance.
Yes, hello, everyone. I just want to take a minute to thank everyone that's worked with the Finance Committee this year. It's really been probably my favorite year so far, and you know, you guys and this entire Senate have really made it so. We've accomplished a lot of great things together, and I look forward to all the great things we'll continue to accomplish. You know, good luck in your elections. I think all of you deserve to continue in SGA. You've all done some very nice work, and I look forward to seeing all the great things that are yet to come. And I also hope to work with you potentially in the future and continue to serve as your director of finance. I decided to save on the waterworks. You know, water is a precious resource. It's a scarce commodity, so I thought I wouldn't put you all through that this evening. But it really has been a great pleasure to work with you all, and I hope that we'll continue to have some great memories together in the future. So thank you, and end report.
Okay, we will now be moving into a period of open discussion. Bonisha has a video that she would like to share for us now.
Okay, pulling it up. Give me 1 second. I need permission to share in the system.
Yeah, 1 second. All right, you should be good to go.
Thank you.
This is just a friendly reminder that student government elections are on September 9th.
This is a very important time for our student body. Let your voice be heard.
Whether you're a freshman or an This is just a friendly reminder that student government elections are on September 9th.
This is a very important time for our student body. Let your voice be heard.
Whether you're a freshman or an upperclassman, your vote matters.
Your vote matters on our campus.
Your vote matters because your voice matters. We want student government to reflect you.
Just wanted to encourage all students to vote in the upcoming SGA election because your vote matters and you are choosing your representation for the next year.
It is your duty as a Stetson student to not only have your voice heard for yourself, but also your friends and everyone you meet on Stetson's campus.
Help shape our current student body, but also the one at Stetson University for generations to come.
Your vote matters because right now, things could definitely be better. Uncertainty lies everywhere, and we as a community have the means to bring much needed stability. When you vote,
it gives you the opportunity to vote in who you want to represent you.
Student government directly impacts campus policy and protects students' rights. To ensure that your interests are protected when campus policies are created, it is essential to vote for a representative that you can trust to advocate for you.
For some reason, we tend to make ourselves invisible. Knowing our potential to make a difference, we convince ourselves that our small participations have no effect on the world. Don't think your vote doesn't matter. You may think there's another you, but there isn't. You are necessary. Your presence changes everything, and your one vote makes all the difference. That is why we need your voice this September 9th. You're here to voice your opinion. Never feel like you can't or shouldn't.
So go out and vote.
Voting in campus elections gives you the opportunity to voice your opinions about issues in the Stetson community that matter to you.
It's a chance for you to be able to make sure that your voice is being heard, and so that we, the Student Government Association, can be working with you, the student body, to make sure that Stetson University is a welcoming and inviting place for all students.
Providing transparency and accurate information in a timely fashion is more important now than ever before.
Vote matters because your voice matters.
To show your pride in our great school.
Your voice matters because you are the lifeblood of this institution as a student.
Importantly, I want to remind you that it all starts with you.
Do you love Stetson? Do you want change? Your vote, your way.
So come out September 9th and make your needs heard.
Make sure you vote September 9th because your vote matters.
Vote smart, vote well, and go Hatters.
And that's it.
That was awesome.
That was great.
I like that.
Yeah, really good job.
Waiting to for me. Oh, I love that. Okay, I love the entire thing.
Good. So what I've been working on is doing something similar for each of the senatorial seats that's being run for. So I just need the video. I just need the footage, and then I can put it all together. I have one for the senator at large, but there's 9 candidates, and I have 5 videos. So each of the areas, I'm missing some critical videos. So I'll do the best I can, but I really need you guys or the candidates to submit so that I can finish. And I'd be happy to do so.
Who would the candidates reach out to for more information on what the videos should entail?
Lishna.
Lishna, okay.
Mm-hmm. Are there any questions for me?
No, but that video was phenomenal.
Thank you. Thank you, Hannah.
President Alderman?
Yeah, just a quick reminder. I hate to have to contradict what John Michael said, but indeed, the waterworks will be next week because we will be having one final Senate meeting, and then we'll be announcing the election results immediately afterwards. So please bring your tissues. Just get someone to cuddle because there's gonna be waterworks all over. For my farewell address, I will be doing a rendition of "One Last Time" from Hamilton. I am only kidding. Slightly. All right. Yeah, so show up next week, please.
Senator Kolchinsky?
Hi, everyone. First of all, thank you, Bonisha. That was an amazing video. Quick announcement. This Friday at 6 p.m., Hillel is having another event as usual. This week is our BSA Hillel bonding event. Everyone is welcome and encouraged to come join us. We're doing mixers, we're bonding. It's going to be fun. You can DM me or the Hillel Instagram account or the BSA Instagram account for the link. So, thanks.
Senator Colon?
No, I just want to, wish good luck to all the tickets and to all the candidates. And thank you guys for this incredible year. Like Josh said, we did an amazing job with EASE. We did an amazing job with the Pet Ag, and I want to wish you guys good luck to all the guys that are running again. And we're gonna have there's a lot of participation, which I was talking with Josh, and I'm really happy about it. And we're gonna keep making some change. So thank you and good luck, guys.
Senator Cruz?
Hello, yes. First, no matter what happens, I love y'all. Like, being a part of, I'm pretty sure, George and Hannah could, attest to this. I was a very vocal audience member my sophomore year. The year before they went into office, I was a very vocal audience member, and then I was inspired to run for Senate. Anyway, to make this short and sweet. But this year was my first year on Senate, and I loved every part of it. Like, I love being a part of it so much. So y'all killing it. We're killing it. But the one thing I wanted to talk about was yes, Hillel's having the collaboration with BSA on Friday. Also before that, though, from 2 to 3, there's going to be a panel about the Black youth experience in America. I can send that to George and Hannah for it to be, or I can send it to relay it to everybody. But it's gonna have some prominent student leaders on campus in the Black community, sharing their experiences. So that might be something looking into as well. And then just to reiterate Stephanie's point about the event happening with the Office of Diversity and Inclusion, when they see us, there's some very triggering content in that show. But if you are willing, if you can, I very encourage you to register for that event. So yeah, that's all I want to say. Thank you.
Director Leontes?
Hello. I just want to notify the Senate body and make sure it's recorded in the minutes. But for those of you that like Star Wars, The Mandalorian is returning on October 30th. This is the day, and this is the way. So thank you.
Director Francis?
Hey, I just want to say, BCF apparently is doing free dinner, but here's the thing. They don't actually give you the dinner, but they're still there to talk to you and acquaint themselves with you, and they want to acquaint themselves with you, and they are great people. Highly endorse BCF as an organization of great individuals with great minds and great faiths. So if you want to join them and just have a good conversation, get some social, get some social interaction, especially now that a lot of us are very deprived of it. Please show up to BCF, BYOD, bring your own dinner. But it should be a fun time, and I'll try and be there. And if you want the link, get a hold of me and I'll send it to you.
Senator Cruz, did you have something else? Or...
No, I just didn't put my hand down. My apologies.
Oh, I got you. Senator Hendrick?
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Okay, it has been motioned and properly seconded. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed?
Nay. Never stop.
Abstain?
Stop believing.
Okay, it
Do that
is
next
in
week.
the chair that the ayes have it, so we are now adjourned.